Hello, friends. I'm Priyanka, a success and performance coach. Today the topic that I want to discuss is interviews, which is very close to every professional's and every student's heart that is about to appear for interviews. What is our traditional way of preparing interviews? We go through our books, we go through websites, we go through various links, we go through questions, we go through their answers, and try to see what information we can gather from there, right? While it may help us to some extent, but most of the times it leads to failure. And why is it? And the primary question to understand is that while the interviewer wants to check our knowledge, he also wants to see that who we are as people, not just how much we know, but who you are as a person, right? And colleges or schools or nobody, neither our relatives prepare us for that question, right? And that is why I thought it was very important for me to take this topic up and look at interviews slightly differently from the way we look at it today. Um, and I will share with you 3 points on how you can take care of this point of interviews where you understand and answer from the point of who you are and not just how much you know, but who you are as a person, right? So the first point to get there is that your breathing patterns. Are you a shallow breather or are you a deep breather, right? Our breathing has a lot of role to play in how nervous or how anxious or how stressed we are. In today's times, because of information overload or because of performance pressure, we generally are anxious and stressed as society, and more so, as students who are appearing for their first interviews. So just ensure that every time you are in a situation where you have to either face an interview or an exam or anywhere where you're being tested, just ensure that you take time to breathe from your abdomen, right? And release the air from your mouth. And take, like 4 or 5 such expansive deep breaths and then prepare yourself, right? So what that does is that we have certain lobes running from our neck to our brain, and every time we start shallow breathing, the important supply of air and nourishment stops and to those parts of the brain that are responsible for analysis and creativity. So you must have noticed that in certain situations, in stressful situations, there are answers you know, but you cannot bring them up to here. In exams, there are times we come out, it has happened to me, that I came out and felt that, my God, I knew this answer. What happened to me? Right? So that's what happens, right? The moment we start deep breathing and take time to allow ourselves to be, that stress just comes down and we are able to function optimally. That's number one. And to add to that, don't do this exercise only for the interviews. Make deep breathing ritual a part of your daily morning, right? Begin your day with deep breathing exercises. I will share some links on the description box below, and that time investment will pay you in millions and zillions if you make it a practice. Point number two is self awareness, or how well do you know yourself, right? Because this is something that nobody touches upon. And when an interviewer asks us questions that are pertaining to this topic, we also have answers that are copy pasted. But these questions are prepared by the recruiter to penetrate through us, to understand us better. And when our answers are shallow prepared and not deep prepared, he can clearly see. So just take some time and answer yourself these questions. That was it. What is it that makes you happy? What is it that makes you sad? What is it that motivates you? What is it that brings a lot of joy and fulfillment to your life? What are some of the things that are very, very important to you, right? And There is a lot more to this exercise, which I will put under the video of self awareness with certain exercises, and we will look even more deeply into self awareness. So, if you are interested, you can try that link as well once I prepare it. And point number three is self talk. What kind of conversations do you have with yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Because the world around you is all busy with negative conversations. How bad the economy is, how you go for an interview but you will not get it because somebody's already been appointed, and this interview is a facade. And there are a lot of other negative conversations happening around you, where people are busy talking negative, right? And those conversations, knowingly or unknowingly, become our conversations with ourselves. And they bring us down, and they kind of manifest the same kind of things in our environment the more we think about, right? So, to understand the science of self talk and what it creates in our lives and how it creates in our lives, I will have another video and link to share with you if you are interested in knowing more about it, that why is it that self-talk plays such important role in your lives. To change your self-talk, one very important thing that I'm going to share with you is that change your company. If you think that you are among the company of negative talkers, people who only look at the limited side of life and then only create limited lives, step out of that zone and get in the zone of power people, right? More to this another video, and I'm going to be doing an entire series on how to handle interviews. While I say that, I also want to encourage you to not prepare for interviews, but to prepare for a career, right? Because when you prepare for your career, you will change the way you live your days. You will begin your day with self awareness. You will begin your day with deep breathing exercises. You will ensure that you read, knowledgeable stuff and newspapers daily, and you will keep a different kind of company, and that will, ensure that you not just clear an interview, you clear every interview that comes your way, and you have a fabulous career. So that is why don't prepare for an interview, prepare for a career. Even if you haven't faced interviews today, prepare for future. And there's no reason why you will not clear an interview. All right. So happy growing and happy clearing. Bye. Thank you.